Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I never lose. I either win or learn. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It always seems impossible until it's done. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front. There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others. Forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. That is why it is such a powerful weapon. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. It is in the character of growth that we should learn from both pleasant and unpleasant experiences. Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. When people are determined, they can overcome anything. There can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way, but I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. There is nothing more difficult than trying to explain to someone who is determined to remain ignorant. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Fools multiply when wise men are silent. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. Action without vision is only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. You can start changing our world for the better daily, no matter how small the action. The power of love to transform and heal is boundless. It is not the kings and generals that make history, but the masses of the people. You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy than you will through acts of retribution. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. We must strive to be moved by a generosity of spirit that will enable us to outgrow the hatred and conflicts of the past. The purpose of freedom is to create it for others. I like friends who have independent minds, because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. The habit of attending to small things and of appreciating small courtesies is one of the important marks of a good person. Great peacemakers are all people of integrity, honesty, and humility. We must transform ourselves to transform the world. It is not the towering sails, but the unseen wind that moves a ship. Any man or institution that tries to rob me of my dignity will lose. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. The best way to solve problems and fight against war is through dialogue. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. When the water starts boiling, it is foolish to turn off the heat. You don't have to be a saint to be a leader, but you do have to be committed to your purpose. Let courage rise with danger, and strength to strength oppose. A true leader uses every opportunity to unite people and avoid dividing them. The greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end, he and the other side must be closer and thus emerge stronger. You can judge a society by how it treats its most vulnerable members. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. There is no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. It is not where you start, but how high you aim that matters for success. The power to change the world is within each and every one of us. No single person can liberate a country. You can only liberate a country if you act as a collective. Difficulties break some men but make others. No axe is sharp enough to cut the soul of a sinner who keeps on trying. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. Only free men can negotiate. Prisoners cannot enter into contracts. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. Your playing small does not serve the world. Who are you not to be great? There is a universal respect and even admiration for those who are humble and simple by nature. Do your best in every task, no matter how unimportant it may seem at the time. We must never allow fear to stand in our way. As long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest. Lead from the front, but don't leave your base behind. A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself. People respond in accordance to how you relate to them. If you approach them on the basis of violence, that's how they'll react. But if you say, "We want peace," they will react accordingly. Keep your friends close and your rivals even closer. There is nothing more inspiring than to realize that every challenge faced is another step toward greatness. Let freedom reign. The sun never set on so glorious a human achievement. The triumph of any human being over injustice is a triumph for all humanity. You sharpen your ideas by reducing yourself to the level of the people you are working with and getting a collective opinion. It is wise to persuade people to do things and make them think it was their own idea. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Freedom is meaningless if it is not inclusive of all. There is no such thing as part freedom. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. The chains of the past are heavy, but the will to break free is stronger. Lead by example, but also nurture the next generation of leaders. No one is born a great leader. They must learn through action and reflection. Success in life requires more than talent. It requires persistence and determination. The way forward is never easy, but it is always necessary. We cannot allow ourselves to be defined by what we have overcome. We must define ourselves by what we strive to achieve. A life spent in service to others is a life well lived. I have always believed that exercise is not only a key to physical health, but to peace of mind. There is a long walk to freedom, but it begins with the first step. We must encourage our youth to believe in themselves and their ability to transform their communities. Peace is the greatest weapon for development that any person can have. Do not dwell on the past. Use it as a tool to build a better future. There can be no greater gift than to give your life for a cause greater than yourself. Reconciliation means working together to correct the legacy of past injustice. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Real leaders are people who are willing to sacrifice their own comfort for the benefit of others. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Our human compassion binds us together, the one to the other. We must never be scared to dream big or to act boldly. Freedom comes with responsibilities, and we dare not linger, for our long walk is not ended. The journey to success is not a sprint, but a marathon requiring patience and perseverance. There is no substitute for hard work and persistence in achieving greatness. Let your courage inspire others to find their own strength. We must be guided not by fear, but by hope and determination. The world is waiting for people who will bring light where there is darkness. The true test of our devotion to freedom is just beginning. A freedom fighter learns the hard way that it is the oppressor who defines the nature of the struggle. The best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up and act. We must find a way to live together in harmony despite our differences.